Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lizanne Nel. I'm the Conservation Manager for SA Hunters and Game Conservation Association. Thank you for allowing me the time to share the SA Hunters approach to reducing the risk of lead-based ammunition and lead in general in the environment. I would like to introduce you to SA Hunters and Game Conservation Association. We're a member-based organization established in 1949 to promote conservation and responsible hunting. We have a member base of about 45,000 members with 82 branches distributed throughout South Africa. We have 2 magazines and we are also co-owner of Huntex, the largest hunting exhibition of Africa. We're a member of various international organizations, including Operators and Professional Hunters Association of Africa, as well as the IUCN. Then nationally, we participate in our members of various wildlife conservation task teams and forums. The members of SA Hunters and Game Conservation live very close to the land, either when harvesting free-ranging protein or as landowners. They have an intimate connection with nature on which they depend for food and other ecosystem services. Conservation and responsible wildlife use are part of the fibre of SA Hunters and its members. We have a number of conservation initiatives throughout South Africa, ranging from conservation of succulents in the north to conservation initiatives for birds, mammals and reptiles. We engage researchers to facilitate applied research, supporting conservation and sustainable use. We engage communities and have a number of community empowerment programs, and we empower the youth to secure the future of conservation going forward. We believe that sustainable use of wildlife secures wildlife habitats and it contributes to the socio-economic development, especially in rural areas. Hunting is critical in securing wildlife areas in South Africa. For today's discussion, I'm going to focus on private wildlife areas that comprise about 70 million hectares or 14% of the national estate. This is more than twice the size of former protected areas. These areas rely on viable business models for long-term sustainability. Income streams include, for instance, photographic tourism, processed products, live sales, and hunting. About 30% of the area rely on hunting as the most important income stream, while more than 50% rely on hunting as one of the income streams. Hunting contributes more than 50 billion to the economy annually. Between 46% and 68% of the income is money paid for game hunted, and this serves as an incentive for species and habitat conservation. Private wildlife areas contribute to conservation targets, ecosystem services, the wildlife economy, socio-economic development, and food security through wild harvest. Hunters have different perspectives when it comes to the associated risk of lead-based ammunition and its potential risk to wildlife and the environment. The uninformed sometimes believe it's an attack by greenies wanting to close down hunting. SA Hunters, however, has a different perspective. We acknowledge the substantive evidence based on risks of lead for people and wildlife. We also acknowledge that lead ammunition is one of the contributing sources of lead poisoning. The nature and extent are, however, unclear, and it's not only from hunters, but wildlife managers in protected areas, farmers, the military, and the police also use lead-based ammunition. We further acknowledge our responsibility as part of a bigger collective in finding meaningful solutions to secure the future for wildlife and responsible hunting. We believe there's a general lack of integrated and holistic approaches to change management, and we are concerned that bans without effective, available and affordable alternatives would have significant negative impacts not only for wildlife but for the future of hunting and its contribution to the wildlife economy. We caution against polarized discussions and one-size-fits-all approaches, but we support open, robust engagement to meaningful long-term solutions. SA hunters believe in an integrated and holistic approach to finding solutions. On the issue of lead, we want to continue our leadership in promoting conservation and responsible wildlife use. We participate in a number of conservation forums, including the National Vulture Task Force, as well as participating in the Biodiversity Management Plan development for the ground hornbill. We're a founding member of the lead task team, and we have an in-house policy related to using lead shot over wetlands and water bodies. Constructive engagement and open and robust communication is key to improve the understanding of all of the role players. On the lead task team, we believe that we have improved the understanding of some of the other role players on the challenges that the hunting sector face in moving from lead-based ammunition to non-lead ammunition. As a hunting organization, however, we've also improved our understanding on some of the conservation challenges that are faced in South Africa. We participate in national and international conservation discussions and panels, including a discussion of the African-Eurasian Waterbird Agreement dealing with lead-based ammunition and its impact on waterbirds. Collaboration and integrated and holistic approaches towards solutions are key. As a member of the IUCN, we participate in some of the motions that are being developed, specifically those that deal with lead-based ammunition. We're part of the National Poison Prevention Working Group, and we've also given inputs in a number of other national policy processes and initiatives related to lead and the risk to the environment and wildlife. We manage a vulture restaurant and collaborate with organizations like VolPro in the rehabilitation of injured or poisoned wildlife. In our recent visit to the One with Nature exhibition in Budapest, we engaged with various hunting organizations in Europe to understand their approach to the challenges and to see how we can learn from their experiences. As a collective, and in particular in the lead task team, we identify research gaps. We scrutinize results of research because it's important to objectively improve the knowledge base for all of the role players involved. We also, as SA hunters, facilitate and contribute to various lead-based research initiatives. If we want to see effective change over the long term, we need to make sure that the various role players understand the need for change. We have to ensure that they understand what is required to change and what is the desired outcome. In this process, it is important for us to also translate scientific data and facts into a digestible format for stakeholders to understand. They don't read scientific papers. SA hunters have a couple of sessions with our members and lately with all of our branch members to discuss issues related to lead-based ammunition and the risks for them and for wildlife. We've written a couple of articles in our local magazine, and we've also developed awareness material that we place on social media. On an international basis, we liaise with other hunting organizations, including, for instance, NAFA, the Namibian Professional Hunting Association, which is with us a member of the Operators and Professional Hunting Associations of Africa. We need to see this change happen throughout Africa. When we recently become aware that many of the predator management programs include the use of lead-based ammunition, we approached the Predator Management Forum to become a member. We believe through awareness raising, we can influence the use of lead-based ammunition in these programs. We want to make sure that we facilitate the process of finding and developing of viable alternatives. These are some of the pictures of our Facebook post, as well as a picture that we use when discussing with our members the potential risks associated to them and their families when eating meat that might be contaminated with lead particles. Once stakeholders understand the potential risks associated with lead and lead-based ammunition, and they want to make a change, we have to ensure that there are alternatives available that are affordable and that are effective for the specific required purpose. For this reason, SA hunters are engaging with various ammunition manufacturers to develop alternatives for locally used calibers. Part of the process includes testing these with conservation agencies to see whether it works for wildlife management, with culling operators and hunters. We have to make sure that they are satisfied with the specific requirements of the alternative ammunition. As part of the lead task team, we've also identified that import taxes and the process to import are complex and challenging as far as components for alternative ammunition is concerned. We are working towards solutions. Mainstreaming this issue as part of our normal activities is also important for SA hunters. So, as part of our training to our members for competency and hunting-related skills, we make sure that hunters reduce the risk of wounded animals. This may be a risk if lead-based ammunition was used as scavengers get to those animals. On our shooting ranges, we make sure all of our shooting ranges are certified by the SABS. Part of the certification process includes a rehabilitation plan on the lead. We make donations to vulture restaurants and lately also to the Cheetah Outreach Trust. And in this, we make sure that those carcasses that we donate are free of any lead particles. Next, I would like to discuss our Vulture Heritage Initiative. SA Hunters recently launched the Vulture Heritage Initiative. The objective of this initiative is to contribute to the conservation of endangered vultures and to reduce potential risks associated with the use of lead-based ammunition. Part of this initiative includes the development of a smartphone application that members can use in the field to record sightings of vultures, as well as blue cranes and ground hornbills and other rare and threatened species. The initiative also includes a couple of vulture restaurants that are being managed by branches of SA Hunters. We provide bathing space, water, and clean and safe food for the vultures. This specific picture is of a vulture restaurant that we manage near Lichtenburg. If there are any incidents of vultures that are injured or that are potentially poisoned, we collaborate with organizations like Volpro and arrange for these animals to be transported to these rehabilitation centers for immediate attention. We further collaborate with landowners to participate in the Vulture Heritage Site Initiative, where landowners make a commitment to contribute to the conservation of these magnificent birds. Landowners commit to secure and conserve breeding areas for the vultures, to participate in the annual monitoring of the vultures, to inform any and all hunters that may hunt in the area of the potential risks, and to advise them on mitigation measures and educate them on any potential information that are provided through the lead task team. SA hunters in turn then support these landowners with any inquiries and possible information and guidance from the lead task team. In closing, we are one with nature and our survival and well-being depend on healthy ecosystems. We should all be responsible in how we engage with wildlife and the environment. SA Hunters has a track record in conservation and responsible wildlife utilization, including in how we deal with lead-related risks. There are, however, no quick fixes or one-size-fits-all solutions. We have to get the buy-in of all role players in an integrated and holistic approach. This is critical for successful change management. There are lessons we can learn from abroad. Our circumstances are, however, different, and South Africa has a proud history of conservation successes through our unique approaches. We have to trust ourselves. We can do this. Responsible hunting is part of South Africa's heritage, and it makes a significant contribution to conservation of habitats and the wildlife economy. We have to tread lightly when we engage the sector. The lead task team has made huge strides to ensure collective action. We need to build on our successes, and we have to expand the circle of influence. As far as SA Hunters is concerned, we remain committed to the process. We are seeing the change happening. We just need measures to monitor this change. Together, we believe we can do this. Thank you so much for your time and attendance.